Welcome back to the Watch Long Gang. Today we take a journey on the Wheel of Time.
The Wheel of Time. I read these books as a kid, like the first 3 or 4 of them, and I remember loving them and thinking they were awesome, but I have zero memory of what happens in these books. Isn't that weird?
There's 16 books in the end because he died.
Wow. I didn't know there were that many.
Well, he's from South Carolina, too. I didn't know that, like Charleston.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
But Robert Jordan, like he died, and then that author that I like a lot, Brandon Sanderson, they picked him and he finished him. He wrote like the last 3.
How strange. I kind of feel like, I guess it makes sense if you're a fan of a property, you want to see the end. But it feels weird to have someone else finish something that
he had input, right? Sanderson didn't just come in.
No, it was like he had it already finished in the ending. It's like, more than George R. R. Martin probably. It's like they had notes, like a huge amount of like written stuff.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
So
but at any rate,
I recently, because of that, I started to listen. I think I got through 5, and I don't want to say bad things. I like it. They had really cool ideas, but they just go at a different pace once they kind of get into the middle section. They're like,
maybe I stopped reading before that part.
I think you and I probably read this.
And again,
really cool.
I was like 14, maybe 13 when I was reading these things. So I had different standards.
Well, that's how old I am.
Different ideas of what was cool.
Yeah.
Huh?
So, anyways, we're bearing the lead. Amazon, not only are they spending $500 million or $1 billion on the Ring show, they're also taking on like one of the other biggest franchises.
They're serious. They're serious about us knowing how much money they have.
Well, the cool thing about this one, it comes out within the next month.
Money's like nothing to us.
Yeah. Now we're going to raise prices on everything.
Yeah. Just like with that spaceship we built. You paid for it.
Yeah. Thanks. We had a great time.
Thanks, primers. It's been $1 billion on Wheel of Time.
Let's watch this. Let's see if you remember anything, Brooks.
Be strong. The Wheel of Time turns. And ages come and pass, leaving memories that become legend.
It's not like Harley Quinn. You just throw her in a full of paint.
The power inside you.
I like her.
Yeah, she's
all over the world.
There
are different things.
Morgane or whatever.
But it's one thing. One power, and women who can touch it. We protect the world.
Was it mostly like female main characters, or?
Yeah, I'll explain to you in a second.
No matter what happens, what pain we face, what heartbreak.
Sexy times.
The wheel keeps turning.
It's a lot of Game of Thrones.
I was going to say, this looks like Game of Thrones. Visually.
The last battle is coming.
Kind of reminds me of the Witcher show, too.
Whatever happens now, there's no turning back.
I think what I like about Witcher was that it was just him fighting monsters, and it wasn't another one of those the end of the world is coming kind of like epic.
Yeah, but it did have a deeper story to it. I really liked
to have a through line.
I really liked. This is a whole different thing we're talking about now, but I love the different. The story was taking place in different times, but you didn't know that when you're watching it. You figure it out later.
It worked really well that way.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. Just like Westworld did that. Anyways, this looks interesting, but I might need to reread the books because I don't remember any of it.
It's a world where magic.
The wheel that runs time.
Well, I don't know the wheel time. The reason because everybody has magic in the world, but when the men get magic, they go insane and they explode. Like that's my
Nice.
rough understanding. Again, okay, I know people.
Is there
going
going to be some kind of Y man that comes up and he's the only man that can do
Well,
magic?
we have to be
kind of
careful because every
bullshit?
time we do things related to books, and we mention like I read that book, and I start talking about people go, "That's not what's in the book." It's like so. I have a very casual understanding of the books, but all those women are like they're like magic users, they're weavers or whatever, and they can use it. But the men, anytime a man's born with like the Shining, basically, they hunt them down and get rid of them in the society.
Why did
And
they
the
have to?
spoiler
They just
alert-
blow up.
Well,
Because
the
they
spoiler alert-
explode.
Yeah. Well, they go insane, and the last time it happened, the guy ran this army and destroyed the world like a crack.
So they go insane like they turn evil, or they go insane like
yeah,
just crazy.
They turn, but both,
Okay.
and they like it's painful for them. And then,
There's
like,
kind
they
of like
can't
a
handle
a
the
Dune
magic
thing
and like
in there too. Then
they become like a magical nuclear bomb too. Like it becomes so, but they can like crack the existence because or some kind of crap. Like so, not some kind of crap. Some kind of great lore, but it's like so. But it has really cool elements. They have the bad guys. They're little orc guys, or are they called trogs, or what are? Forgot what they're called, but they all have different like beast heads. Like one's the head of a goat, one's the head of an ox. They all have different. They're all different, like human beast hybrids. That's what it looks like they're doing, which is pretty cool. They're scary when you listen to the book. I'm like, ooh. The whole premise is there's three young boys, and then one of them starts to have the Shining, and it becomes a problem, like basically. And then
so it
that-
is one of those kind of
the main, what's her name, Rosamund Pike, is like I don't know, sorceress or whatever. There's a lot of cool concepts in that guy. I think that Asian guys they have these guys called their bodyguards that always follow one around. They're like bound like psychically too. Like they can. It's pretty cool. They basically kind of pulled him out of that village in the middle, and they on to adventure and other things. And but that's why you see mostly the women in that world. They can do cool magic and stuff.
So
They're
this
like
is a
badasses.
series, then, not like a movie.
Yeah. So this is
Okay.
just the first season of this. Yeah, I can't imagine. I mean that. This all looks like the first book from what I remember. So I mean, it's all pretty.
Well,
Maybe not.
cool.
I don't know. There's really cool ideas. They have those way gates. You remember that? They go into these like.
I don't remember
portals.
anything.
But is that?
I remember the covers. I remember what the covers looked like of the books. The
Well,
paperbacks.
they had the idea of this way gate. It's sort of like that episode of Rebels. Remember where they go into the time thing? Remember he goes into that weird world and he goes back and saves Ahsoka or whoever. Remember when?
yeah.
Rebels.
What's that episode?
I didn't watch Rebels.
He never. Saw
But you know
it.
what I'm talking about, Sean. That episode
Yeah.
where he goes and they go into a way gate and it's like a weird little other dimension with paths and bridges and stuff, and they have to walk through it. And there's like has a lot of cool lore ideas. It's just I for whatever reason it slowed down for me, and I just like I don't know if I can keep going with this. I'm losing
A
track
series-
of who's who. Like,
I wish they would make books that I used to read were those Amber books by Roger Zelazny. That was a cool book series. That would make a really good TV show. I don't know why no one's caught on to that one yet, but it was magic. But they also intersected with our modern world. But they their world was like the core world, and other worlds were like shadows of it. And our world is one of the shadows of that world. So they would
Right.
sort of cross into these different worlds and do different things, but it was all about the family politics of them sort of fighting each other. Like
I'm
this
surprised
royal
this
family
one-
at the center of the universe.
I'm surprised this one took so long because you guys were talking about something else, like maybe a previous version, but because this is up there in the top 5 franchise, like fantasy outside Lord of the Rings, and I mean this is like at Narnia level, I think, maybe bigger.
Well,
like
they
it's
haven't done all of
huge. They have a whole
Narnia yet either.
conventions and stuff.
People
You know.
don't. It costs money to make stuff like this. Amazon's
you
wanting
mean?
to spend this money.
And the
But
Narnias they made didn't
made
do
the-
that great, did they? I don't
they did
remember.
okay, but it'd probably be a fine TV show. I don't know why.
You know what's
Studios
funny
had-
about those Narnia
Netflix
movies?
had optioned it, and you're like, and then they were like, but it's going to be in some other era of Narnia. It's like, why don't you just do the books? They haven't been done yet.
You know what's funny about those Narnia movies? Fun fact. I don't know if the first one, but at least the rest of them were a good portion of them, maybe the last half, were written by Marcus and McFeely, who then went on to write Captain America,
Oh, really?
Winter Soldier.
did not
Those
know
two,
that.
that was their first bit, like, that's what they were doing before when they pitched to do Captain America. They wrote like the last 2 Narnia movies.
The Chronicles of Narnia.
Yeah, what? Lazy Sunday. So I think it looks cool. Maybe. I mean, it's
Yeah, it's interesting.
Neat.
I'll watch it. I'll watch any fantasy-based show that isn't, garbage.
Yeah.
They know the audience, man. They're like, God, Game of Thrones made a lot of money. And then
Yeah,
after
and-
that, you could tell that this stuff's been in production for a while. Like after Game of Thrones started going away, people like, pouring into the vacuum trying to make things like that. You know, Witcher.
Well,
They
and
were
you never
trying
know
to develop
because-
one of their Game of Thrones prequels. Like they had 6 in
Yeah.
development and didn't pick up any, but there's still one that they're toying with.
They brought back another one. But yeah, to this is like you never know that nowadays because in the past 10 years the effects have been to a level where it's like they all kind of look the same when you watch the trailers of these shows. You're like, hopefully it'll be good. So hopefully this will be like Witcher because Witcher I was sort of like, oh, we'll see, and then I was pleasantly surprised with it. I thought that
Yeah, I
Witcher
enjoyed
was
it.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked Witcher. I didn't think I would because I thought
Yeah.
it was based on a video game. I didn't know there were books.
Yeah,
And I was like,
But they were,
based on
like-
video games, that's a bad sign.
But the books are basically like short story anthologies, so I think they did a good
yeah.
job.
The first 2 are, and then they go.
Show.
What the show did an amazing thing too. They combined everything together, which is just a smart showrunner. So I don't know who's running this show, but I'm excited. More
Yeah,
fun stuff to watch.
well, check it out.
Oh,
Wheel of Time. It's like the Wheel of Fortune, except time.